Howdy. Laura and I are settled back into the Great White North, which means I get to do some ice camping. I brought my diesel heater along with me to test it out for the first time. So we're going to see how that works, and I'll kind of explain how it works and why I switched or added it to the setup. So what a diesel heater is it's a heat exchange system. So air comes in through here, diesel heats, I don't know if I want to call it like a cylinder or a tube in there, and then a fan just runs the air along the hot thing, and there it's clicking on, and then the exhaust goes out this way. So the whole unit sits outside, which is a great thing for space, and it's clean air. So there's no CO2 or CO buildup, so I should be feeling much better the next day as opposed to propane. Propane's fine, it just you got to keep windows open, make sure you don't die. But I hooked this up. It runs off 12 volt. I hooked this up to take DeWalt batteries. So I'm going to start off with my 2060 Flex 6 amp. See how well that runs before switching over to the two parallel. Got two here. I can run two of them. Two 12 amp hour. So we'll see how well that works for the night. Allegedly, I'll be able to get about 12 hours off one tank of gas and two batteries. Brought some extra diesel and I have extra batteries, so we'll see. Okay, we're set up in the shack. So we got our diesel heater set up right there, coming through the door. Got a hole over here. We got our camera set up over there. Our iPad with our depth finder set up there. 3D printed these bucket rod holders. 3D printed some coat hangers. 3D printed this table that's on these Eskimo E-Hub attachments there. I didn't 3D print those. I figured I'd just buy those. But having the table is nice, and I can set my rod right there. And then attach the iPad to this little fitting that I have back here. Cot set up over here, and then I 3D printed this jaw jacker now that they're legal in Minnesota. So I didn't 3D print the whole thing. There's PVC pipe coming off of it, but I 3D printed these parts, the main parts. So that's set up. It'd be fun to get something on that. And initial impressions on the diesel heater so far. It's definitely. It's warm, but it's not kicking off as much direct heat as a buddy heater would. I had it started it on 5, and I think I bumped it up to 7 or 8 right now, just trying to get it a little warmer in here. So right now we're sitting at 45. Let's see that, but yeah, 45 degrees in here. I just bumped it up, so we'll see if it heats up a little bit. Another thing about it too is I have the intake outside, just because the hose it came with wasn't very long. So one thing I did order and is on the way is a longer intake hose, so then I can have it vented from inside, so it'll be pumping recirculating warm air, and that should make the whole thing more efficient. I also got battery extensions for DeWalt, so I can clip them up and have the batteries inside so the batteries don't get cold either. But those are future things, and we're just out here to test it right now. And since we are camping, might as well just set up the propane heater just in case. So you never know what's going to happen. Hey, there's a pipe down there. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Sorry, I wanted to film that, but I just wanted to catch the fish more. Yeah, there was a pike down there. He swiped at it 2 or 3 times. He wanted it, just missed it. But he's gone now. A little excitement. I'll get the GoPro set up here shortly. When I initially turned it on, it must have been cold, so it said no battery, but I do have an extra battery and I can plug it in. Just been trying to get everything set up here. So we'll get that done for you. All right, we got one on the jaw jacker. That was an exciting little to hear. Not a big guy, definitely gonna throw him back, but yeah, we're on the board. I think my biggest worry about camping right now is that there's not a lot of snow on the ice, so there's not a lot of insulation under my foam mats. So I'm worried about waking up in like 4 inches of water. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So I'm going to keep the heat down a little bit. Cool but comfortable. Yeah, and then one thing I did to combat the water melting and making a giant puddle in here is under the cot, about right there, there, I drilled half holes. So if water does start to melt under there, they'll fill up those holes first, in theory, and then all the slush from that I was able to spread out and get a little bit of layer under the mats to get hopefully a little bit more insulation. So we will see. So far just that one pike. Heater tells me how long it's been running. It's been running for an hour and a half, so that's how long I've pretty much been fishing. I suppose I can explain my jaw jacker here a little bit. So this bends over and there's this little clip that it clips on, and then the line goes over that. So as soon as it gets a tug, I'm not going to do it, but it releases this lever, which releases this lever, and then it sets the hook. It's supposed to be, well, it seems like it's a lot better hookup ratio than like just a regular tip up or a rattle reel. It'd be really cool if it went off right now. Also, I had to switch out one battery. It was a full 2060 6 amp hour DeWalt battery. It only lasted about 2 hours. So I think the cold has something to do with that, and the efficiency of heating cold air has something to do with that. Again, improvements I plan on making. So I don't know if I'll make it all the way through the night on my two 12 amp hours. I switched out the 6 amp hour with another 2060 6 amp hour. So that'll, give me another couple hours, and then eventually I'll switch to the two 12 amp hours. But I don't doubt that I'm going to have to kick on the DeWalt propane buddy heater just to get me through it, but you never know. There's a big mark down there. I was coming back. I should probably fish. I think I missed that one, but it's good to see signs of life. They have been pretty finicky, so. And for lunch, I made myself a sandwich. Alright, finally got the GoPro charged, so you can see a little bit wider angle of the shack. So it's not too bad of an angle. But yeah, the diesel heater's doing well. I think I already mentioned this. Already switched one battery out, but I think the improvement of just a longer intake so I can recycle warm air will help a ton, and then I can have it on a lower setting and get the batteries to last longer. Also have extension cords that I ordered so I can bring them inside to keep the batteries themselves warm. I think once this battery dies, I'll end up just turning the propane heater on until I go to bed, and then put in the other two batteries to last me till morning. But overall, going pretty well. I've had a few marks on the screen. They just haven't been biting. So, seems like a pretty finicky bite. I did check my Fishbox fishing forecast. And lately, pretty much ever since there's been ice on the lakes, the forecast has been like 10% bad bites. Pretty much constantly. But how much can you trust that? My light's on. Yeah, so I think we're having a good time. Floor's almost dry. Hopefully it doesn't get so dry that it ends up getting wet, Getting another mark. I'll show you what that looks like. Come on. I'll let you know if I catch that, but I'm gonna get back to fishing. Also got my phone leashed. I was fishing with my buddy the other day and he dropped his phone down the hole. So I'm always very aware about my phone, but now I'm just extra paranoid. So got it leashed. I also have a phone case with like my wallet, cards, ID, and everything on it. So I make sure to leave that in the car now. Last thing I want is to drop my phone, cards, ID, everything down the hole. Alright, it's 7:30. The second battery just died. Second 6 amp battery, amp hour. So I switched to propane and we'll just run propane until I go to bed. We'll put in the two 12 amps and that should last us until the morning.
Watching two guys fish.
I got my iPad set up. Watching some TV now. Might put up the rattle reel soon. And just kick back and relax. Alright, got my rattle reel set up. Yeah, that connects to the E-hub and then just rattle reel. So I have a rattle reel and a jaw jacker set up throughout the night, and if either one of those go off, I should know about it. Put our batteries in. Turn them on. And hopefully that'll get us to at least the morning. Alright, well, it's a little after midnight. Propane's off. Just put the batteries in. Heat's going on the diesel heater, and that will hopefully keep me till morning. Let you know if it doesn't. Good night. Good morning. So I was using the diesel heater from about, was it around midnight, a little after midnight. And then I woke up at about 4:30 and it had shut off, so I turned the propane on. So definitely didn't last as long as I was hoping it would have. I think it needs a couple tweaks. I think I might end up actually using my Jackery 2000. Really didn't want to lug around a big battery for that thing, but yeah, extending the intake so I can recycle warm air and then figure something out with the batteries. But be nice once it's working. But glad I brought the propane as a backup. Nice and toasty in here. Slept pretty good. Maybe I could have used a some sort of cushion. Cot's kind of hard, but other than that, I slept pretty good. So I don't think I'm gonna do too much fishing this morning, so I'm just gonna start kind of packing up and getting back home. So thanks for tuning in. See you next time. I think these holes helped a bit. Definitely water in them. So I think they caught some unnecessary, unneeded flooding water. So yeah, it's a good idea.